alignment to vessels that have a covenant with God, there are people God has sworn to do certain things to them, and God will honor them and honor you too for their sake. A covenant was entered in the temple in Jerusalem that anyone who faces that direction, it didn't talk about the accuracy of the prayer. The moment you face that direction, God, you are bound to answer. So when they wanted to destroy Daniel, it was a risk to try to guess whether he will get it right. He opened the window to face Jerusalem to remind God that, God, this one now is not just my knowledge of you. I'm not ready to take this risk. We are talking of death here. There are dimensions that are too risky for you to tread. Your personal knowledge of God may be too limited, and the danger that stands before you may not give you a second chance. At that time, you have to tap into a possibility that is bound by covenant. There are men that God has vowed that anybody they pray for, he will answer. Even if they are wrong, he will answer and punish them in the secret place. I hope you get what I'm saying. So our possibilities in the kingdom is not just dependent on the finished work of Christ alone. It's not just dependent on the love of God. It's dependent on these truths that I teach you. Let's go to Job chapter 38, please. Let's begin to walk these truths now. What then is the limitation? But now we do not yet see. But now we do not yet see. Apostle, I saw in my vision that God spoke to me that this would be a year of dominion. I saw it in the vision that I was rising, but as it is now, it looks like this has been my worst year yet. Hold on, help is coming. Help is coming. Job chapter 38. Job was at a point in his life, let's follow please. Job was at a point in his life when he was frustrated. I hope you understand the context of Job, that Job was crying and lamenting over the predicaments that had come upon him. He gathered together his friends and they began to attempt to solve the dilemma. Why would a man who feared God and eschewed evil, why would a man who was the richest in the east, the great, called him great? Are we together now? He says that in the days of my youth, when the secrets of the Lord were upon my tabernacle, then he began to describe certain things, that the young men will see him and bow, the old men will stand. He